Nature is a stage where many a drama will unfold, and we get to see it in plain sight. Today we turn our gaze to the world of the little, where the hunters go to fight, and the hunters will cower and scream. All has been thrown into balance as we learn of the creatures that are going to be taking over the world and making it their own. What could that be, I ask? These forces of nature will do what it takes to make the top, and will stand against all to win it all. Let's give them all we can and prepare to see something truly amazing. It isn't something to see from the top of a mountain, but it's surely something from the heart. And for this show, it will be a fight to the death, and we'll see what is to be done. This is all you need. The absolute heavyweight champion, armed with a huge mouth with sharp teeth. What a sight to see. They are all just as we are, and they are trying to make it and make their lives shine. There are only those that can be at the top, the hunters, and few of all know what it takes to get there. They are ready to do what it takes and let all stand for the life that comes from it. What more can you do than give it all you've got? And even those that know the dangers, the greatest still shudder in fear. What a sight we must have. The appetite of this amphibian is so great that anyone who gets into its throat can become victims, so getting in the way of such a ferocious creature is far from the best idea. What we bring today is to put respect above all, to show the life that is on display and not to destroy and take it. The animals all want what is theirs, and they have no concept of greed, and it is so honest. Hello friends, you are using your time on the channel, and it is great to have you here. Prepare yourself for what comes next is the truth of how these creatures really are, to a point you couldn't even comprehend from start to finish. Today's episode is a true wonder of nature. We are showing a side of nature that shows strength and power, all within a package that would be called weak and small. You may find yourself fooled like so many others. The star is a creature that flips all on its head and all we see and know to be true. The burrowing frog can rightfully be called a master of survival in the most arid conditions, and is all you need to know that the creature will do what it takes to survive. It is one of a kind, something never to be seen anywhere else. Living in the savannas of Africa, when drought approaches, it burrows deep into the soil, where life processes and breathing rates slow down tenfold, which saves energy reserves. They must learn to act quick and to do what they can without any help. The frog can remain in this state for up to 10 months, until the start of the next rainy season. With it, they are in a peaceful dream that leaves all at bay and no need to bother about the world around them, at least for now. But eventually the day comes, just as it always does, and they have to prepare to see what the world is really like out there. It's never as gentle as one might hope. However, you are going to have to do with what you have and try your best to live another day. As soon as the earth is saturated with saving moisture, the underground monster begins to emerge from its hiding place, hungry and ready to claim what is his, because as the king you can do whatever you like. Surviving the harshest conditions is a gift all on its own, and we must cherish and revere these animals. We can see that they truly are remarkable beasts. Considering the size of the amphibian, there is no doubt about its strength. With a body length of up to 25 centimeters, males can weigh almost 1.5 kilos, and these are among the largest frogs in the world. It's easy to see why so many things fear them. Those claws, those teeth, that power. Now, no one would ever want to come face to face with what they had to offer. With its power, what does it choose to do with it? Well, to eat, of course. The survival of anything is never guaranteed, and at every possible turn there may just be some that will threaten what you have built. Now, let us get to a more pressing matter, and also one of the most gluttonous. If you have it, you flaunt it, and for the frog, that's all you get. It is not surprising that after such a long fast, the first thing the amphibian does is go in search of provisions, and woe to anyone who gets in his way, as that is what is meant to be. As they come to be, so must you make it out to be. Everyone gets eaten in this world, even you, so it comes down to what you do about it and how they get to you. Is the mind greater than the sword? One can only do what they think and can't look back with any regret. A lot is coming now. Large eyes give the frog keen vision and an incredibly wide viewing angle, but it only sees moving objects, which is more than enough to find a suitable target. The movement gives them away and makes it easy for the predator to find them out. All it can do then is make its first kill easy. After that first kill, nothing may ever be the same, because all one will need is some sort of victory to go on to the rest of their world. Now all they have to do is make it work out in their favor. Let us get back to seeing how this all works with that great tongue. A targeted attack, and now the helpless creature is literally glued to a huge tongue that shoots at incredible speed, so the prey often does not even have time to react. For others, there is more to come. Just have to work out all the facts to be here with you at the end, and not everyone is going to make it. It's the hard truth about nature, and the fact that not everyone can come back without a scar. To see nature do its thing is so interesting, so let's see. What comes next for you may not be for everyone, but so long as you remember what you have, all is going to be well, and that is enough. The success of a hunt largely depends on the special composition of saliva. Upon contact with air, it instantly thickens, turning into an effective glue. Therefore, once the prey falls into a death trap, there is no chance of getting out of it. What kind of horror exists in such a statement? There is no coming back from that. What a crazy thought for most of us, but such is the nature of these great creatures and all they bring. There is so much that can be done and not be done, and they give their all without anything to show for it. As it happens, the world moves with you or without you, so just get on and enjoy the ride for all that it has to show you. When the giant jaws close, the saliva becomes liquid again, and the prey is swallowed whole without any doubt. It comes to the power that they hold. To be able to have so much control over something that once was that free has to hold weight, there must be so much to consider about it. It may be just food to you, but it's never what we will be, because to so much to have and to hold will never amount to the feeling of being home, which many of these people have, and it is a treasure most of us can't ever dream to have. The eyes also play a role in swallowing, because only a thin film separates them from the huge mouth. Therefore, going inside, the eyeballs help push food through. Is this all there is? It's hard to fathom that the natural order of life, that to what end would they suffer what there is if all it led to was an end like that? In what we can all ask ourselves, there are more questions than answers, and we can only ask why before we drive ourselves insane. This can go on for a long time, and we can all hope for a better world if we think that there is none. It should not be limited to silent invertebrates, as there is so much more to look forward to. Snakes often share their habitat with frogs, and sometimes consider them as prey, but it is unlikely that anyone can swallow a giant the size of a football, but reptiles can get to it as a snack. The smaller snakes will try to make their attempts and come to meat. It is very difficult to survive at all, but there is no giving up to what has to happen in the long run. The end may not be what they want, but it does always come. The bites of a smaller snake are unlikely to scare off the enemy, but this is the last way to stay alive. A desperate attempt brings success, but the hunter is not going to retreat. The frog's jaws are compressed with such force that the snake's bones break like matches, and in a matter of seconds it ends up deep in the throat of its voracious rival. If any animal or species could ever hope to understand what it all means, it is just hard for anyone to know. It is a wild life. Small frogs have every chance of ending up in the snake's mouth, but catching them by surprise is not always so easy, so what then must be done? Is it all about what you are and nothing to do with what you've been set to? No one is ever what they think they are. Everything has something to do with what there is for it, and they could have just what it takes. The best thing to do is to know what there may be, or nothing could be as it may have been before. Powerful hind legs, like a tense spring, are always ready to carry their owner far forward, leaving the pursuer behind. The snake cannot boast of such agility, but catching the scent of prey, it is able to pursue a target both on land and in the water element. Possessing a solid reserve of patience, the snake waits for the right moment, not realizing the presence of a competitor, who, like a hurricane, instantly demolishes the smaller frog, disrupting all the plans of the reptile. All things said and done, it's the name of the game, what it will be. This can go on forever. Attacking her own kind is a typical occupation of a giant huntress, because her powerful legs easily lift even such a heavy body into the air. In addition to a sticky tongue, the amphibian has large teeth designed to hold and subdue agile prey, so being close to a toothy monster is not the best idea. In addition, the frog's jaws are studded with many small teeth, so even a strong amphibian has no chance of leaving its mouth. There may have to be a way, and no one will know it if it happens. Despite its weight, the burrowing frog is able to quickly move between neighboring bodies of water, where the most sonorous serenades are performed. But since these creatures are too aggressive, the songs of nearby neighbors infuriate them in a matter of minutes, and a peaceful activity often turns into fierce battles. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, which I would take to mind and try and find something that suits you best, and nothing to be so sad. The strongest traditionally gather in an area of only 1 to 2 square meters, turning the pond area into a kind of arena. Using all their strength and power, the males try to drive each other away from the marked place, falling on competitors with all their weight. Any means are used in a fight, and the head acts as a battering ram, but the most dangerous weapon is still the jaws. Their closing force is so great that a fight can be fatal for a less fortunate fighter. There will be something better and greater for you, even in the middle of the chaos. All you have to do is just ask. Although in most cases, fights are limited to a violent onslaught and possibly throwing the opponent over oneself, in the end, the inferior in strength and agility is forced to look for a calmer place for the serenade. The hot savannas are full of predators, therefore, as an exemplary and larger parent, it is the male who is responsible for the safety of the offspring, the number of which can reach 4,000, a hero among his kind. He makes sure he gives all his what it needs, and that is all that the world sees, a gift that it has been provided. There are too many people who want to feast on defenseless tadpoles, but sometimes one serious appearance of a frog is enough for a hungry hunter to quickly change his plans. But it's not just predators that you should be wary of here. The scorching sun can quickly drain small bodies of water, putting the offspring in a vulnerable position. All these forces will never get what they deserve. It must live on and has to be true to what has to be done. They may come and go, but what has always been will all be okay. He must try again. But the father quickly takes the situation into his powerful paws. Using his hind limbs, he makes a trench along which the tadpoles move to a safe place. Sometimes even a massive head is used, which copes with the task no less effectively. Of course, only a few are destined to survive to impressive sizes, partly because adult individuals are also not averse to snacking on their own kind. When there may not be enough, they will have to do what it takes, and that is just it. That's what it means to say that those that survive are the best of all. In addition to insects, reptiles, and their own kind, mice, fish, and even feathered neighbors who made the wrong choice of a place to quench their thirst can end up in the huge mouth. All are accepted, there is no being picky with hunger, and if you have to take a chance, it is not so easy. You have to look out for what is yours, or you may not be as prepared as you could have been. It all must be in its place. Finally, when the rainy season gives way to another drought, the amphibians who have completed their mission return to their makeshift home, where they will spend most of the year in suspended animation. It is now in a world all on its own, isolate and nothing. It is there to be and to be at peace with what all has been set to be done. But do not fear, all that will be again in a year. Let's see what the world is made to do again, that is all. To survive, to be great, and all the things we do and love will be seen in a different world once more. It lives alone. It loves alone and will never back down to all we do. It's such a strong world. Adapted to harsh conditions, these creatures are true long livers. In captivity, they can live up to 35 years. What happens next, that the world will see with every breath that is had, will the next thing that is given, and for it to last a lifetime. It would be something special. Due to their size, fierce temperament, and ability to cope with difficulties, these amphibians are thriving, and forecasts for their future are very optimistic. It is to know that they have it good, and so as those reading about them, they will have all that is needed, and you will be the one to say if this is true. That's all for now, and I hope you enjoyed my post. Take care, and let's be kind to all those with us.